Shibai Otsutsuki is the strongest character in the history of Naruto, and due to that strength and power he acquired, he became so powerful that he ascended to another dimension. But what if I told you that he's trying to come back? What if I told you that Boruto is the key to his grand plan? You see, for this theory to make sense, you need to be in tune with the events of the Boruto anime, not just the manga. Because if you're being honest, the Boruto anime is a completely different continuity with multiple running subplots never mentioned in the manga. One of those subplots being the gods descending upon the land. You see, if we go back to Boruto episode 15, after the battle with Nue, Toneri said that the gate Nue opened has now been sealed, and that the time for the Jougan won't be coming up for a while. He then says that this is just a temporary delay. In time, the gods will descend upon the land. Now, since this specific episode aired before Momoshiki and Kinshiki arrived on the planet, the first conclusion people came to is that Toneri was referring to Kinshiki and Momoshiki. However, this doesn't appear to be the case. If we go to episode 54, when Toneri first met Urashiki on the moon, Toneri referred to Urashiki as a celestial being, not as a god, nor did he treat him as such. In fact, Toneri said that he thought the fate of the Otsutsuki clan would end with him, so he didn't understand how Urashiki still existed, yet alone a clan of Otsutsukis. He was also questioning what Urashiki meant by we when referring to Momoshiki and Kinshiki. And that's of course because Toneri thought the Otsutsuki died out, he didn't know they still existed. Now, since Toneri knew that the gods would descend upon the land, why was he surprised at the existence of Urashiki and the clan itself? It's clear that Toneri was not referring to the Otsutsuki since he thought they all died out, he didn't know they still existed. So it's more likely that Toneri was referring to other beings that attained godhood, beings above the Otsutsuki. Or let's just say beings that transcended being just an Otsutsuki. This of course brings us back to Shibai. It stated that he attained immense power and ascended to a higher plane of existence, to another dimension. But what if he's trying to come back? What if he's trapped and Boruto's Jougan is the only thing that can free him? We all know that Boruto has the ability to see through dimensional rifts and teleport to another dimension using his Jougan. We saw him do it before in the Nue arc earlier on in Boruto, which then leads us back to the similarities between Boruto's Dojutsu and Ada's. Boruto's Jougan is depicted as a full moon, Ada's Dojutsu has a crescent moon, and Damon's Dojutsu has a half moon. Also, Boruto is shown to have the ability to see live events similar to Ada's Senringan. He's also able to hear what the person is saying, as confirmed in the Nue episode. And this is all relevant because all of Ada's abilities came from Shibai's cells, as confirmed by Amado. And if my theory that Toneri gave Boruto Shibai's cells which awakened the Jougan is true, this would explain why Boruto has a version of Ada's Dojutsu abilities. You could say that the Dojutsu of Ada and Damon are just byproducts of the Jougan itself, which is why they're not a full moon. It's like a progression, maybe. Ada's Dojutsu, which evolves into Damon's Dojutsu, which then evolves into the Jougan. So in theory, you could deduce that Boruto should gain all the abilities of Ada and Damon. Now you could say that maybe Shibai's abilities, all the abilities that Shibai did possess, aren't directly tied to his Jougan. Because as you can see, Shibai has multiple Dojutsus. One could be a Jougan, one seems to be Shiki's Dojutsu, and the other one could just be a Renegon. We have no clue, we'll just have to wait and see. But it could also be that these abilities that Shibai has that were taken from his direct cells are just a part of his body itself and not anything to do with any Dojutsu at all. So even if it was the case that Boruto did get Shibai's cells, it's not a guarantee that Boruto will awaken all of the abilities of Damon and Ada, because we don't know what part of Shibai's body possessed those abilities. This theory is also supported by Boruto's horn when he goes into his Borushiki state, looking nothing like Momoshiki's but more so like Shibai's. So while this clearly is not confirmed, it's very likely that this is exactly what happened. Toneri, when preparing Boruto to face against the Otsutsukis, or the gods above the Otsutsukis, or even just gods in general, decided to use the power of the gods against them. Again, if you can't beat them, join them, which is something Kawaki doesn't seem to understand. Because let's say Otsutsukis do come to the planet, your best shot at beating the Otsutsukis is using the power of the Otsutsukis against them. So Kawaki trying to get rid of Boruto, due to Boruto being possessed by an Otsutsuki, is kinda weird since Boruto said that he has more control control over Momoshiki's power at this point in time. But again, Kawaki is still a child and he isn't thinking logically, he's thinking with emotion. He wants to protect Naruto. So there are multiple things you can point out in the Boruto story that you can say, oh, maybe the character could have done something else, but that's just you looking at it from a rational standpoint and not feeling the emotions of the characters. And of course, also factor in the fact that these are children who don't normally think rationally. But that's kind of besides the point. The point I'm trying to make in this video is that Boruto might be linked to SHIBAI OTSUTSUKI. This Jougan, otherwise known as the Pure Eye, might be linked to the Pure Lands. And let's say in theory, the dimension that SHIBAI did ascend to was the Pure Lands, where the spirits wander. It's pretty much heaven or hell for the Naruto universe. Let's say him ascending to that dimension, leaving his body behind. This means that he left his body behind and his spirit traveled to the Spirit Land, which is the Pure Land. But for some reason he got trapped in the Pure Lands and couldn't return to the physical realm, so he's trying to use Boruto as a medium, using the Jougan, which is called the Pure Eye, to connect to the Pure Lands to guide him back to the physical realm. Now this Pure Land section of the video isn't completely my idea. This is mostly due to Nero. He's a very good content creator on YouTube. You guys can go check him out as well. But he mentioned this possibility while we're on the podcast that sounded very intriguing, which is why I decided to add it to this theory as well, because I think it's possible. So while we're under the assumption that SHIBAI just decided to just ascend one day after getting too powerful while lying on his bed, it could be that he ascended accidentally. It could be that he got trapped in that dimension against his will and he's trying to break in, he's trying to come back, which is why Toneri said that the gates have now closed and the time for the Jougan won't be for now and the gods will descend upon the land. So Toneri himself is indirectly confirming that the Jougan will be what opens the gate for these beings to enter this realm. Now we also see these cracks in space and time, which could also be an indication that the gods above, the Otsutsuki, SHIBAI, or whatever he is called, is in that dimension trying to break through, but he can't. Now Nero also mentioned another possibility about what he's doing in the Pure Lands. Maybe he went there directly for something. I'm not going to go into that because he's going to make a video on it as well. You guys can go support him and check it out. So I'm not going to mention that here, but it's also a very cool possibility as well. But overall, I think the proof is in the pudding. I think it's very clear that the series is trying to imply something here, something great. And I think this is somewhat linked to Momoshiki's prophecy about the spectacle that will happen. And I think this will happen very, very soon. I don't believe that whatever Momoshiki saw just had to do with Boruto fighting Kawaki. I think something greater will happen that entices Momoshiki himself. And this could be what that thing is. So we'll wait and see what happens. But all in all, let me know your thoughts on the Boruto series in general. Do you think it's headed in the right direction? Do you guys want to see more Otsutsuki battles? Because I honestly, I really want to see like Otsutsuki's like throwing down. I want them to go to other planets, you know, meet other beings, expand the universe. I'm tired of seeing the Hidden Leaf Village. I'm tired of seeing like dudes fighting with kunais, you know. That's just me. You know, I'm an OG Naruto fan, but I need things to escalate. I need things to be exciting. So I want them to meet the Otsutsuki god. I want these gods to descend, and I want Boruto and the others to ascend, leave this boring scenery, and let us see more of the universe. That's what I want. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and let me know your thoughts on the video itself. Drop a like if you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and of course I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.